Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And thanks so much for joining me from whatever platform you are watching from too. Okay. Let me know if the audio is perfect before we continue. And while we do that, you can also share the broadcast with your friends. Okay. And with your not so friendly friends. Okay. Let them know that Maiyegun is live. Sometimes, when you sit down and you pay attention to the drama going on in Nigeria, it will be easier for you to predict what the outcome will be. And sometimes, if you are very, very creative with your research and how you probably use them, some people might actually take you for a prophet, a seer, somebody who can see the future. It all comes to the same thing. Pay attention. Pay attention. I know the reason why breakup of Nigeria is not popular among some people. Not because they don't know how degenerated Nigeria has become and divided she has become as well. They know. But the uncertainty of, what will be our fate in the new place. And on, the fear of unknown, as people would love to put it, the fear of unknown makes them kind of hopeful in an hopeless situation. But calm down. Last, everybody will still come to that conclusion. And like I do say, all we need is time. Everybody would arrive at their own conclusion at different times. Because the truth of the matter is that Nigeria, as it is right now, is programmed to be in existence as long as northern Nigeria exists. And every component of what makes up of Nigeria today belongs to them, if you want to be honest to yourselves. But they have serfs. They have those they legitimize as your representatives and your speakers, and they expect them to act based on a particular workbook that nobody's seen. It's like unwritten code. However, the latest developments have shown to everybody that these same northern oligarchs, ruthless, bloody, corrupt criminals, they can actually be vulnerable. And in fact, they are vulnerable now. For the first time, they are beginning to show the symptoms of what it will feel like if they are treated in their own coin. Don't get confused with my prologue. I'm just trying to tell you that whether you are for the breakup of Nigeria now, whether you are for restructuring, as some people would love to put it, or constitutional amendments, there are some certain things that triggered this. Nepotism that was pretty much their stock in trade became more prominent under this jihadist group in government, where everybody now knows that you need to be a Fulani or pretend to be one if you want to have a place in the current Nigeria. So the division became so visible that they can no longer hide it, to the point that the insecurity in the country which has become so huge and destroyed the economy of that country with their corruption as well, has prompted the southern Nigeria to take a stand. Oh, we are going to do our best to protect our people under these current circumstances. And in that regard, we are going to ban open grazing. But have you seen their reactions? And they now said that all of us from southern Nigeria, including their serfs, the people they put there as your governors and as your this or that, through that fake constitution called 1999 Constitution, they now call them gangs. All of us from the southern Nigeria, we are now considered as people who are now ganging up against the North. We are now considered as people who are now overreaching in a country that should be a partnership of all nationalities. The North, the South, this, that, all of, you know what I mean? But again, they say if you do good, you won't have to be worried. But if you are evil, there is always going to be a day of reckoning. What is so certain is that power is transient. And here is something they are scared of now. With the rudeness of Buhari and the impunity of Fulanization of every parastatal in that place, right? They are scared that if somebody comes from the South as the president and decide to wield the similar power and choose to end terrorism for real, these are the few steps that are really, really going to go against them. And I will tell you why. They now believe that power should not go to the South. I will also break that down for you. A southern president will likely not send their soldiers to go and kill protesters or to go and hunt down activists. Possibly not likely. A southern president will likely want to prove a point by sending the Nigerian military and intelligence agencies down after the terrorists for real. A southern president can use his position possibly to announce and seek for external help that can really bring an end to the terrorism. But here is the problem. That southern president will need the military, and he needs to be in control of the military and the security forces. So which means that southern Nigeria will require or will need the allegiance of the military. How do you think it's going to get that? First, it will need to change all of the jihadist apologists in charge of the intelligence gathering, who are pretty much a bunch of criminals, kidnappers, and killers of their own citizens, not terrorists. So you will need to change the leadership. So once you change all the leadership, there are things that are going to come to light. Secrets behind all the terrorism. There is possibility that a southern president will likely go after those who are really behind the terrorism, including the Fulani invasion that is making the BUHARI'S government to demand for land instead of sending the military after the terrorists. So there's possibility that a southern president will not shield Fulani terrorists killing people down south. There's possibility that a southern president will never go and pursue Ruga. For who? Being the president, there's possibility as well that some of these guys in BUHARI'S government will end up in jail. Some of them, a southern president, in order to win the loyalty of the world, will eventually release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, cancel all of the charges against him, and probably bring him to the table, the Biafrans to the table, and say, let us talk. A southern president can possibly do that. Possibly. Don't forget the emphasis, possibly. I'm not saying he will. I'm not raising your hope, and don't raise one, please. But this is their fear. How would those actions affect the agenda that is currently ongoing, that they are doing everything to entrench so that whoever takes over can sustain it and end up creating the local government areas for Fulanis in the south? So they found out that nobody will be able to do it in the south. No one. No southern president will be sitting down like BUHARI is doing now, when terrorists are kidnapping the northerners, kidnapping and raping women, kidnapping school children, and all of that. A southern president will likely not do that. It will likely genuinely go after the terrorists. And going after the terrorists include going after their source of weapons, which means a southern president will need to sack all of the moles in charge of security in Nigeria. And when you look at the moles, they are the Fulani apologists. Do you understand what that will mean? That will bring a huge setback to what they have achieved so far. A huge one. And there is possibility that a southern president will call for a national confab, the one that will, in fact, will be implemented once and for all. And do you know what that simply means? It means that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will no longer be a fugitive that these terrorists are calling him. It's like the Taliban, calling people who they have entrapped and ready to kill, calling them terrorists. So, power going to the south, that the southern governors included, and at the same time demanding for true federalism, demanding for state police, demanding as well for the federal government to take permission from them before carrying out any operation in their region to the northern bloc. Even though the southern part, they said power must return back to the south, which is normal thing. Like, it should be normal thing, right? After 8 years, somebody else should come from the south, maybe southeast, from the Biafra land. I mean, I'm just saying that now, but to an average Fulani, that is all of you are reaching. How many are you, Seth? So they sat down together, they look at all the data that they have, because these are the guys that are pretty much like, they talk to themselves. It's like when they talk to themselves, they amuse themselves. They feel like, wow, I never thought about that. Let me give you the instances. They sat together and they said, wait, when Obasanjo did 8 years, it was the turn of the north. So Yaradua came and he did 3 years. Then he died. Goodluck Jonathan was supposed to finish the last a little bit over 1 year left by Yaradua, so that the north can then bring somebody in to complete the tenure of Yaradua. But because Jonathan did not do that, Jonathan contested as a southerner, which means after 3 years, no, sorry, let's put it this way. 8 years, the power was in the south, in the hands of Obasanjo. Then the power returned to the north, and Yaradua became the president. 3 years, the north had the power for 3 years. So Jonathan from the south became president, and Jonathan contested properly, and he won, and he became president again, making him spend about 5 years. And he was about to contest again. He contested again to do 8 years allowed by the constitution. So the north grouped. Even though they believed they had that power or whatever it was, but they couldn't really make Buhari president. So they had to get Shongodele Abi Shongolere Tifnumbu to partner with him. They went to the Niger Delta. They grabbed Obima Judas Iscariot, Amechi. They grabbed him. So when they got all the people that could give them a little boost here and there, then they brought in a Taliban, Buhari. So it was a war of, we need this power. We want this power. The reason why our people are poor is because we don't have power. The reason why the terrorists are killing our people is because we don't have power. So we needed that power. So they conspired, they came together and they got that power. Now they are using the 8 years, Abi. So they now felt like, wait now, we did not finish Yaradua tenure now. And what can we do? What can we do? Since the last election was in 2019, Buhari got a total vote of, they said, oh, well, in the total vote, they said the total vote was about 30 million. Out of the 30 million votes, they said 16 million came from the north. 16 million. Wow. Only about 8 to 9 million came from the south. That even if all of you in the south decided that you want to, okay, all of you, you want to break away or you want to do anything, you can't do nada. Because as you think you have the number, we will double and triple the number. They will tell you that Kaduna, you saw those 3 Kardashians, Kaduna, Katsina, and Kano. Their votes, when they start coming, they say, when all of you go gather yourself together, we are not giving up this power because we have the right to complete the tenure of Yaradua. And if all of you want to go to voting, oh yeah now, and if you want to fight, where are you going to go get the weapon? We control the military. We will arrest all of you. We will kill many of you. So at that point, it's like the point of strength. You know, when you are at the point of strength. So when the South came together and they said, the power must return to them. Oh boy, this now signal. So if these people should get the power, they will do exactly the same thing we did. The impunity. And by so doing, many of us will go to jail. Many of us will have to run away. In fact, this Southern president can even, in order to be in the good book of the world, he may even hand many of us to the International Criminal Court for the genocide we have committed in the name of Buhari. So because of this, they said they don't trust the South anymore. But the Southern governors did something, which is like a follow-up. If you want to, I told you, I said, not because they have the power to make any difference, but some moves are pretty much very, very strategic. And we must acknowledge that, okay? As much as the presidency led by Garbage Shehu, deputized by Femi Okonu-Adesina and co, spoke today and they said, and they hailed the DSS who claimed responsibility for invading Sunday Igboho's house and killing 2 innocent people who committed no crime. And at the same time kidnapped 13 people who they have kept incommunicado and distance from their lawyers, from their legal team. As you would expect in this case, what are you going to charge them for? Whatever it is, can you then please take them to court and let them speak to their lawyers? Right? So the presidency came out and they said, Garbage Shehu said, that was a fantastic job because Sunday Igboho was a criminal. He's a criminal, blah, 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 and is wanted. He also praised the abduction, the international abduction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the one that is actually going to put the final nail on their coffin. I've said this many times. He is their albatross, is their nemesis, and he continue to give them that same problem that will eventually sink them. When you remember BUHARI'S government, you will be remembering Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafrans, what the hell they gave to BUHARI. You wonder who? So they came out to praise that today. But the southern governors, after giving those resolutions, they decided to go to Abuja and meet with the lawmakers from their regions to tell them, listen, for this constitutional amendment, these are things we wanted to include in them. We will no longer sit back and watch the drama from distance and pretend that, maybe it was all for good. Now we realize that if we don't bond together now, we're going to not just lose the current privilege we enjoy, we're also going to lose the people that are still pretty much holding on for us. And I love that. So this is the event at the National Assembly yesterday. I think we should have that on record. Okay? The governors from the South.
Why are you pushing me?
Eddie is forced to take the national anthem. My short remarks as chairman of Southwest Governors Forum by apologizing to each and every member of the two chambers, that is, all senators here, all members of the House of Representatives here. I'm tendering apologies on behalf of my brother governors to all of you. This is the first time we are meeting. We have met before when we are going to make a choice of who becomes who, maybe speaker and everything. We met in the lodge of the governor of Ekiti. But since then, we have not called any formal meeting. And it's an unfortunate development, but it will not repeat itself. We are determined to correct that in the interest of all of us. We have a meeting as your governors. And when we finish, we do issue communique. And when it comes out, on a number of occasions, most of us here have supported our decisions. Chairman of the press, as you all are aware, we have just had a meeting of Southwest governors with distinguished senators from Southwest and members of the House of Representatives for Southwest. The meeting had both governors and distinguished senators and members of the House of Representatives discuss so many areas of interest. But most importantly, the meeting today deliberated on constitutional amendments, and we are resolved that we will present a common position as regards amendments to Constitution. And in order to achieve this, this meeting has set up a committee. The committee made up of distinguished senators led by the caucus chairman, and House of Representatives made of the caucus chairman and attorneys of the Southwest state. The committee is to harmonize our position so that we can present it as and when necessary before the two houses, and at the end of the day have the constitutional amendment have a serious input as we take it. As we thank you all.
I asked how many of you saw them open that meeting with Oduduwa anthem. Many of you heard that, right? Okay. Now, it is very, very significant because that was played where they sang that inside the National Assembly or wherever they met them. And that was in Abuja. Okay, the Southwest governor, rather. Okay, we haven't seen others yet meet their own representatives. But when we see, I'll share that with you. But the message was that they all went to Abuja to meet with them. Oduduwa anthem played in Abuja. Akeredolu is buying time. Very soon, it will come full circle that he indeed wants Oduduwa Republic, starting with the Yoruba autonomy. That is what they are hiding behind restructuring. Let's see how much of this push, the Fulanis will push them to finally come full circle to say, you know what? We don't think these people want any solution. But I'm going to take a break. I don't know how I felt that thing. I mean, I felt good when when I saw them sing Oduduwa anthem. Let's sing it together. Okay, if you can. Lovely. So relaxing, reassuring, so loving. Honestly speaking, Many people love to sing that anthem, and I want to sing that facing the flag of Oduduwa Republic someday. That was a bold move. Political, yes, but bold, very yes. What they did was to say, we're not going to just talk and talk. We're going to tell those that comes and sit with you in that chamber to deliver that message to you. But it's a joke that they will need to do more in order for that to make any effect. To do more in the sense that those they want to send and those ones who are sending them with Bokwari and Bokwari's, with Bokwari's compromise on them, all of them get their limitation. No. The remaining 2 years on the calendar of Bokwari's illegal regime, anything can happen. 24 hours, they say, is a very long time in politics. But one thing is this: the North has received the message and they have responded accordingly. They called all of this a gang up. One of them even said that you see all those governors and all those people represent making all this, what have you, they are not different to Sunday Igboho. They are not different from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But do you know who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho is to an average northerner propagated by this jihadist terrorist in government? They are seen as the problem of the North. The reason why people don't appreciate Buhari is because there is a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is a Sunday Igboho. Some of them are watching me right now, and we asked them, since you have kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why, how come that people are still being kidnapped? How come that children are still being kidnapped from their schools? Children. How come that their parents are still being shot at by the people who are supposed to be in the forest looking for the children? How come? Are these people being sent by Mazi again to attack especially these parents?
About the kidnap of these children, and he will shoot gun at us. Are we terrorists? Can't we air our views? Is Nigeria no more free for us to air our views? He will shoot gun at us? For what? Are we terrorists? The terrorists are in the bush. You should go and shoot gun at them. What nonsense is this? The government should do this. They should work on this. He will come with his uniform and be shooting at us. Why would you go to the bush and shoot at people? Nobody's saying anything about it. And he's shooting at us because we're actually saying that they should don't have the accurate number now. But they are taking. There's nobody saying anything about them. Nobody's accounting for them. Only asked, what is it? And the women are crying because they have children that were taken. And he will shoot at us for what? We are not criminals. We are not terrorists. We are law-abiding citizens. We are only asking that the government should say something. What is our offense? What is our offense? If this is the government, this is Kaduna State. We only asked. They should do something about it. We're only lamenting.
There's no offense. Your offense is because you are in Nigeria and you don't even know that Nigeria is not for you. Nigeria is not for you. And those who have brought upon this calamity, they have spent over 10 trillion naira fighting terrorism under Buhari alone. Over 10 trillion naira. But you see all the weapons they managed to buy, they all ended up in the hands of the terrorists they were supposed to use the weapons to fight. Their soldiers are unpaid. They live under the most inhuman condition that you can ever think of. Even though they are soldiers, they were trained to live under the most dehumanizing conditions and all of that. But what about the one that your government actually enforced on you? But the generals, oh, they are billionaires. past, present, and those that are working under them. Billionaires. So after spending trillions, borrowing billions of dollars, they could only give more insecurity. Now, they believe that they are almost there in getting Ruga approved so that they can then go to the next phase. The next phase is how to now turn those approved Ruga settlements, how to turn them to local government areas and gazette them so that a Fulani president can sign it when he's there now. So that if anybody try to change that, it can lead to war. Now, this war will not be fought in Sokoto, it will not be fought in Kano, not in Zamfara, not anywhere near Katsina or Daura. It will be fought right there on your own soil, because they will tell you they are legitimately, they have the right to be where they are. So talking about power going to the south is now a serious concern. There's one information I want to share with you. This goes to everyone who is working very well to keep people safe. And lately, you have been reading the news of people resigning from the Nigerian military and joining IPOB or ESN, or they are joining the people who are going to defend Yoruba land. I'm sending this information to you. Look at this guy on your screen. This is a guy whose image made headline a few days ago. He is claimed to be arrested as a member of ESN. And the guy came out and he said, after the Nigerian military assassinated the consul, right, the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them the order to do sacrifice with 12 human heads. And they used 12 girls, right? All of these were the part of the lies and the propaganda you have been reading out there. But look at his face very well, right? He is one of those who claimed to resign from Nigerian military to go and join ESN. Among those they sent to them, those who were giving out all the information of their location in the forest. And whenever they take a break from their group into town, they are among them, and they have caused a lot of damages in the camp of the ESN. I'm sending this information to you because it is true. Because this guy is not just a volunteer. He was sent to volunteer. And his job is done with the declaration that he's been arrested. He's a soldier. He is from the eastern Nigeria himself, a Biafran. They are those commissioned to return back home and volunteer to be part of those who will be vigilantes, who will be those that will be working to go after the Fulanis, so that when all your operations, your numbers, your location, your information, how you get your weapons or everything, when they know about all of that, they do training with you, everything. And because they are coming back from the Nigerian military, you will think they are coming because they hate Nigeria or they want Nigeria to break up. No, they were sent to join you. Some of them became friends with our own respected Oloye Sunday Igboho as well. And I hope you are doing the house cleaning now. So if you have them in your midst, get rid of them right now. Don't even say, oh, that one is different. He's a very loyal person. He saved me. He gave you information that the military are coming for you, so you were able to escape. Don't fall for it anymore. Get rid of them ASAP. And if the Directorate of States for Biafra, if any of them have the opportunity of seeing my video, please get rid of these guys. that are still within your camp in ESN. They are those who are known as the unknown gunmen. They are those specifically sent to weaken you, and they have done a lot of damages, including the killing of a consul and so many other information they have been able to be privy to for the fact that they had a privilege as a former military officer. As they are working for you, they are working for Nigeria. I think that information should help to some extent.